Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that the ground itself has decided to walk away. Not shake, not tremble, but walk. The horizon turns black. The air fills with dust. The sound is not thunder, but it feels like the sky is breaking. And then you realize something impossible. Over 2 million animals are moving together as one. No leader, no map, no countdown. Just instinct older than humanity. This is not a movie. This is not animation. This is not a myth. This is the great wildebeest migration of East Africa, often called the eighth wonder of the natural world. And once you truly understand it, you will never look at nature the same way again. Every year, across the wide plains of Tanzania's Serengeti and Kenya's Maasai Mara, something extraordinary happens. 1.5 million wildebeest, 400,000 zebras, and 300,000 gazelles begin a journey that stretches over 1,800 miles. They walk, they run, they swim, they survive. This is the largest land migration on Earth, bigger than any human movement in history. No other place, no other species, no other spectacle. This is East Africa's living heartbeat. So why do they move? What force compels this colossal journey? The wildebeest are not chasing adventure. They are chasing rain. Rain means grass, and grass means life. The plains of East Africa breathe in seasons. When the rain falls in the southern Serengeti, the herds arrive to feast on the fresh, green shoots. When the grass dries and the land turns to dust, they leave. When the rivers swell, they cross. This incredible cycle has repeated for over 1 million years long before borders, cities, or even modern humans existed. The wildebeest don't consciously remember the path. Their bodies do. It's a memory written into their very DNA. Ancient African communities watched this migration long before it had a name. To the Maasai people, who have lived alongside these animals for centuries, the migration was living proof that the land was alive, a gift from their creator. To early explorers, it was simply overwhelming, described in journals as an ocean of flesh, a force of nature so vast it defied belief. To scientists today, it remains one of the most complex and fascinating natural systems ever observed. It's no wonder that in modern times, the Great Migration earned its unofficial title, the eighth wonder of the world. Unlike the others, this wonder was not built by human hands or carved from stone. It's powered by hooves, hunger, and hope. The journey begins in the vast, open Undutu plains of the southern Serengeti. This is the cradle of the migration, the birthplace where life begins anew each year. Here, during a frantic calving season, an unbelievable 500,000 wildebeest calves are born in just 3 weeks. That's one baby every few seconds, a staggering explosion of new life. The plains transform into a nursery and a battlefield. Newborn calves are a miracle of evolution. They can stand within minutes of being born. They must be able to run within a few hours. Because lions, hyenas, and cheetahs are watching, waiting for any sign of weakness. In this world, life does not wait. It runs, and where the migration goes, predators follow. It's a simple, brutal law of the wild. For the great carnivores of Africa, this moving mass of animals is a traveling feast. Lions, masters of ambush, plan their attacks with chilling precision. Clans of hyenas, relentless and strategic, test the herd, looking for the young, the old, or the sick. And in the rivers, giant crocodiles wait in silent patience for months on end. For the predators, the migration is a time of plenty. For the wildebeest, it is a constant, terrifying test of survival. Yet here is the miracle. Despite the danger at every turn, the wildebeest population remains strong. Nature, when left untouched, has a profound way of balancing itself. Then comes the moment the world knows best, the scene that has captivated documentary viewers for decades: the river crossings. The Mara River, in particular, is the ultimate obstacle. From a distance, the water can look calm, the banks peaceful, but beneath the surface, death waits. Nile crocodiles, some over 5 meters long, have not eaten for months and are waiting for this very moment. The wildebeest hesitate at the water's edge. They crowd the bank, a storm of indecision and panic building within the herd. The tension is almost unbearable. Then one jumps, and like a switch has been flipped, the rest follow. The river explodes into a scene of pure chaos: hooves, horns, water, blood, and the desperate struggle for survival. Some will drown in the panic. Some will be taken by the waiting crocodiles. But many, driven by an unstoppable will to live, will make it to the other side. And the migration continues. Because for the herd, stopping means extinction. Those who have been lucky enough to witness the migration in person often describe something unforgettable. It's not just the sight, as spectacular as it is, it's the sound. A low, endless rumble that seems to come from the earth itself. It's not quite thunder, but it feels just as powerful. It's the sound of millions of hooves moving together, a constant, deep drumming that vibrates through your entire body. It's a sound that reminds you how small we are as individuals and how powerful nature truly is. Interestingly, it's not always the wildebeest that are at the front of this massive column. Zebras often lead the way. But why? It comes down to a fascinating and unspoken partnership. Zebras have different dietary needs. They prefer to eat the tall, rough, less nutritious grass. By clearing this top layer, they expose the shorter, softer, more nutrient-rich shoots that the wildebeest prefer. This silent cooperation between different species is one of nature's greatest and most subtle lessons. Survival is stronger when we work together. Here is a secret that most people don't realize. The Great Migration has no true beginning and no end. It's not a straight line from point A to point B, it is a circle, a constant clockwise loop of life, death, and renewal. A heartbeat pulsing across the savanna. Even when the herds appear to be resting in one area, the journey continues inside them, their bodies waiting for the scent of the next rain, the pull of the next season, the instinctual call to move again. This ancient spectacle is not just African heritage, it is world heritage, and it's fragile. Climate change, which alters rainfall patterns, is a direct threat. Human development, like fences and roads that cut across ancient migration routes, can choke this vital artery. Shrinking habitats put pressure on the animals and the resources they depend on. If the migration were to stop, the entire Serengeti ecosystem would collapse. The predators, the scavengers, the grass itself, everything is interconnected. And something truly irreplaceable, a wonder of the living world, would disappear from Earth forever. Once lost, it can never be rebuilt. You may never stand beside the Mara River. You may never feel the dust of the Serengeti on your skin or hear the sound of a million hooves. But this story belongs to you too, because in a world that often feels dominated by screens and speed, the migration reminds us of something deep and true, that life moves in cycles. That struggle creates strength, and that nature does not rush, yet it always arrives. Long after the cameras leave, and long after the tourists go home, the wildebeest keep walking. They walked on these plains long before we were here, and with our protection, they will walk long after we are gone. And so right now, somewhere on the vast plains of East Africa, the earth is still moving one hoof, one heartbeat at a time. Thanks for watching. If you were moved by this story, please consider subscribing for more journeys into our planet's greatest wonders.